Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, we're going to be using the McLaren MP4 at Expressway, and after this race, we got ourselves a special secret race that I'm going to showcase later in the episode. If you want to go ahead and fast forward to that, you can. But this is going to be a pretty simple, pretty quick build overall with the McLaren MP4 So hopefully by the end of this episode, this car will help you out at Expressway. And let's say if it doesn't help you out, then I would recommend just keep the car in your garage and just use it for the mall, because this car is really good. Good handling, really great speed, and also some decently good fuel mileage as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the episode. So if you guys are wondering on how to get this car, just go to Brand Central, which is going to be right here. It's going to be the very first car you see out of the bat. Pretty affordable at 225,000 credits with a little bit over 600 points. So I had to nerf the car a little bit in order for it to be eligible to run that Expressway 600. But if you had the spare credits, I would recommend just go ahead and get the car. Really nice car overall as well. Not to mention, but also a very great car. Bringing back memories for Forza Motorsport 4. If you ever play that game, brings back a lot of good memories from that game. After you get the car, we're going to go ahead and add in the Y body to the car itself. Going to lower the PP points a little bit. Looks pretty good on the car, so I would recommend doing that to the car next. For the main parts for the car, let me go ahead and show you guys the parts for the car that I'll be using for this race. Now, if you guys want the livery, I would recommend just search Red Bull, and you'll be able to see all kinds of Red Bull liveries if you want it on your car. So for the parts, we got standard wheels. After you click on it, just make sure the offset's set to wide, and you're good to go on the wheels. After that, we're going to move now to the front bumper. It's going to be Type A. The side is going to be Type A as well. And last but not least, the wing is going to be custom wing set, and that's going to be all the parts you need for car customization. So after you get all your parts together, let's now head over down to the build itself for Expressway 600. And here's a quick look at the build itself. 400 tires, fully customized differential, the downforce, of course, the lowest number for the front, the highest on the rear. Fully customized manual transmission. I did not really tinker with the transmission, so whatever you see is what you'll get from the car. For the other part of the list, as you can see, all I did here was just add certain angle adapter and increase bi-rigidity, and that's going to be it for the car, because you know this car already has that particular number for that car, so that's probably the best way you can do it for the car. As we get started with the race, this car is going to be very quick. We're going to be on fuel map 1 from start to finish, and the car is going to have some decently good fuel mileage in this race as well. But also adding, the car has a really good top speed in this race, so this car has quite a big fight against the GTR, the Honda NSX, and the RX-7 Remera when it comes to the speed game. As we get to the first corner, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves into the top 6, and we can now focus on the next train, which of course is the GTR, the Remera RX-7, and the old generation Supra and Impreza. The car's handling is pretty decently good as well. Might be a little bit on the snug side from the front of the car, but other than that, you should be able to be very smooth and very flexible in some of these corners. And when the track does begin to dry up, the car should feel a little bit better as the race progresses. And also, if you're too close to a car, you might have a little bit of dirty air that will also mess up the handling as well. So just make sure you keep yourself a little bit of a distance whenever you do attempt to make a pass on a car. But as you can see here, we're going to get a nice run on the GTR, making a move on its right side. We actually did squeeze it out a little bit. Make sure we get the spot before we can get to this corner right here. P5 right now, we're going to make a nice run on the older generation Impreza. We're going to actually be side by side into this corner, and thankfully we actually will have a nice better shot. As the Impreza hits the wall, we're going to go ahead and grab 4th place just barely by the skin of our teeth. As we go down the hairpin, we know what's coming. We know exactly the old generation Supra and the RX-7 are both going to push ourselves to the limit, overcooking the last turn, which you can see they're going to easily do that as well, just as scripted. And we're going to sneak on by and try to get ourselves P3 from the old gen Supra, trying to capitalize from its mistake. And since we're so close behind to the RX-7 Remera, all we simply have to do is get ourselves a good run get ourselves a little bit of a slipstream from that car, make a slingshot pass, and get ourselves P2 right as we finish up the first lap of the race. So very good start to the race for us, for last place to second in one lap, and with a 2:19.3, a really good time overall. Fast forward to lap number 2, as we're about over halfway through the lap. We're going to do the same thing we did with the older Impreza, get ourselves a good run as we get top of the ramp. Took the lead and basically didn't look back. So we're going to fast forward to lap number 6. It's going to be our hot lap for the lap race. I really recommend you guys watching this clip, and then I'll see you guys when we get to our pit stop. Alright, so as we enter lap 7, this is going to be our scheduled pit stop of the race. Very quick lap of 2:06 on lap 6. All I'll be doing here for this particular pit stop is going to refill the car with fuel. The tires, don't worry about them. There's still plenty of life in them, and the car actually felt pretty good through this whole entire race. So tire wear and tire degradation should not be a huge factor, so just refill the car. And if you're curious of what percent number I recommend on refilling car, you can just simply look up right there at the bottom of the screen. At least possibly 72-3% is probably the best way to do it. Just give you a little bit of a comfort, a little bit of a barrier, just in case you actually do manage to burn more fuel at the second part of the race. But as we get the race finished, it's going to be yet another solid, smooth build from McLaren. It's going to be a 2610. So pretty similar, if not close to identical, than what we ran with the McLaren 650S on the last episode. So a very smooth, quick build. Really recommend giving it a shot if you have the credits for it. And like I said before, if this doesn't work for you at Tokyo Expressway, then this surely will help you a lot at Le Mans. So I really recommend giving this a shot. Got ourselves that clean race bonus, and that's going to be it for race number 1. Now race number 2 is going to be quite something interesting. This was an interesting request. So we're going to go over here and grab our particular car. It's going to be the Ford GT race car from 2018. This particular Group 3 race car is actually a request run to run at the Daytona Group 3 race. Now this race here is not the tri-oval where you race for a couple laps like NASCAR style. This is actually the 24-hour road course version, where there actually does require Group 3 race cars, and you actually do race on racing hard tires, and is a BOP race. So as we get the race started, we actually got our lovely Gulf livery in the car. Now, like I mentioned before, this is a BOP event, so there's not really a tune that you can rely on. Unfortunately, you just basically have to use your skill and use the car whatever you choose for. So I chose the GT, knowing that the Ford GT does have really good straight line pace. There's actually a lot of cars that actually could be beneficial for Daytona. Like the Ford GT is good. The Dodge Viper is another great car for speed. The Hyundai Genesis is another great car when it comes to speed as well. So any of those cars I listed should be pretty good, or we can just rely and use what the AI are using. So let's make our way through the field. We actually did gain a spot from the Mazda, and of course our car is going to be coming into play more toward the cornering than through the straightaways, especially if we have a little bit of a draft. That's going to help us out. As you can see, for example, we're going to get ourselves a good run on the Mercedes-Benz, even though we're a little bit lower in the track compared to Mercedes-Benz taking the faster way around. We're going to be side by side, but once we get to the turn 2 into the main straight, the Mercedes-Benz is actually going to come right back at us, and actually is about to pass us right there. So the Mercedes-Benz is also another popular car to choose from if you want to. We actually did make the move completely work for our part. Get ourselves a good run on the bus stop, get ourselves in the top 5, and a very solid first lap for us. So as long as you have a very good car that's good on the straights, but I think if you really nailed the bus stop each lap and just really push it without having to pick a penalty, you should be pretty much the best in the field if you do that. But like I said, having a car that has good speed as well also helps too. So as we start second lap, we're finding ourselves behind the Aston Martin, the DB9, a classic, lovely car from 2006. Such an iconic car as well. We're going to make a pass for it. Moving ourselves P4, we got ourselves the other Aston Martin and the Lexus RCF, and I think the Lexus, as of late, it seems like the Lexus is becoming a little bit stronger and stronger by each update. So the Lexus RCF could also be another huge car to use that could be pretty beneficial for this race as well. As we get to these couple corners, we're going to actually get closer and closer to these two right here, especially once we get into turn 1, the NASCAR layout. Get ourselves a nice slipstream from both cars. We'll then really be able to reel in both these cars, and then once we get to the bus stop, we should have ourselves quite a battle for P2. But you can see we hit purple, so we stick close to the Aston Martin, getting a nice tow from that particular car. Aston Martin is also getting a tow from the Lexus as well, so it's going to be quite a battle for P2, but we get ourselves a good run. Going to go ahead and make our move all the way down to the yellow line. We're going to try to make a move, go back off of it, make contact with the Aston Martin, and these two actually go way over the boundaries of the bus stop. We actually do pick up from their mistakes and got ourselves to P2 once we enter turn 3, and then the next car for us to worry about is going to be the Mercedes-Benz. I think it's the SLS, not the really good Group 3, but this is more like the mid to early 2010s Group 3 race car. So we got ourselves a nice draft from that particular Mercedes-Benz. As you can see, we're getting closer and closer pretty quickly. Going to go to the first turn. We're going to try to make a move on the outside. Unfortunately, it will not work out for us. Actually, we do go a bit deep in the corner. We actually lose the lead, but since we're close to the Mercedes-Benz, we're going to get ourselves a nice run. And usually, if you can figure out the layout pretty easily on what you should put the car at in the track, it does help out a little bit, especially in these very tricky corners. As we get a good run out of the first corner, go get that slipstream from the Mercedes-Benz is going to help us out in this little straightaway, and then you got a little link to the left, and we're going to actually follow it just a little bit longer, look for an opening right there, and going to go ahead side by side. We got the preferred line, get back on the gas, and just like that, we're going to actually get the lead in this race from the Mercedes-Benz. And from that point on, we actually were able to hold off and actually got ourselves the lead a bit bigger. Now fast forward to lap 6, we actually made a mistake and practically used up more fuel that was intending on doing to begin with. We're going to come to pit road. We're going to keep our tires. This is going to be pretty crucial whenever you do your pit stop. Yes, you could change your tires, but at the same time, it will help you a lot of time if you just basically refill the car. And I'm pretty sure, I won't be too surprised, but I just wonder if the AI does the same thing too. I could be wrong, but I would just recommend just go ahead and just refill the car. And as you can see, since we went a bit longer, we're going to go ahead and just refill our cars just a little bit past that little diamond icon, just like we usually do when it's a Tokyo race, and after that we should be good on the rest of the field. But that big lead we had over second place, it actually cut down dramatically. So if we look behind us, and he's right there, so we had our big lead we had over him is just practically almost gone. So it's pretty crucial just to make sure if you're about to run out of fuel, just make sure you just play with the mapping and make sure you do make it in pit road. Now thankfully we did manage to keep the lead. We didn't really strengthen our lead any more than it was. It kept around the 5 second gap. But if you guys want to try out the Lexus RCF, I really recommend trying that car out, since it actually did set the fastest lap. That'd be a great choice as well if you want to try to do that. But yeah, that's going to be both races at both the Tokyo Expressway and Daytona. So hopefully both those builds help and setups, and that's going to be it for the episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Here is the next video I'm going to be focused on. It's going to be the return of the Suzuki Escudo. I actually had a request in the comments to do this car next at Sardegna, and I figured why not. We had these couple recent updates, and apparently I think this up-to-date build should be the strongest one yet. May not be as strong as it was, let's say, a year ago from now, or a year and a half ago, but from then this should be probably a bit better than what I had last time, possibly, but we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, want to go ahead and leave a like. If you guys want to check out my other social outlets like GT Planet, Reddit, and all the other social accounts, so they are right there. If you also enjoyed today's episode and like to see some more of my content later down the road, why not go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well, which we highly appreciate. I really support all you guys' support in this channel. And if you guys have any suggestions or want to see requests run build, you be more free to just put down in the comments, and I'll do it, no problem. If you guys want to check out the last episode, I did cover using the McLaren 650S. There it is right there with the other car right there on the thumbnail. And with that being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night where you might be, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.